All right, welcome to the Eric J. the Great podcast show. We got a very special guest on the show today, music artist Brandon Red. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to be on the show.
Absolutely, man. For everybody watching this right now that hasn't heard of any of his music, we're gonna start off by playing one of his songs, and then after that we'll get into the interview. And by the way, this is called San Diego. Go streaming on all platforms. This is one of the first songs. I listened to multiple songs, but it was the one that caught me.
That stuck out to you?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Put your hands in the air. Speeding through San Diego and in them for this type of highs and shit that I live for. If we got a night, at least we had a good one, huh? Oh yeah, we had a good one. On my way to Ocean Beach for some more fun. Talking about party favors and more shots. Hands on the waist cause I can't help but touch. I just can't get enough. Here's a toast to live. Booked a flight to Cali from the 305. 6 hours later and I finally arrived. Bad little mommy meet me there with a smile. And vibe always better when it's been a little while. And tequila here harder when you want to get wild. Back to the telly photo, ass like a file. That's later on tonight, let me take a step back. I mean, we on this rooftop and I can get past the fact. I've been pushing through the pain just to get right here. Lost myself in more, that was just last year. Built me up again with a lot less fear. I see it all now, raise my glass to cheer. Dog, I'm only just a kid when I think of bigger scheme. Ever since a jit, I've been having this dream. World at my feet and my shorty by my side. Crank that bitch up, cause we better take a spin through San Diego and in him for this type of highs and shit that I live for. If we got a night, at least we had a good one, huh?
Yeah, man, I like that, man.
I appreciate you playing that, man. It's funny you picked that one out of all the ones I have. That's dope, though. Because I don't. You listen to a couple. I kind of have an eclectic catalog of music, so it is dope that you picked that one. Usually people go to like Potential or Heaven Spice recently is a big one.
Yeah, I liked Heaven Spice too.
Yeah. So no, that was sick. That was that's actually one of my favorite from my catalog. San Diego. Yeah.
Reason I like this song because way I think about it is, especially in today's culture,
Right.
everybody rapping about ops and slide
Right.
like that. But when I was just thinking about it from like a music CEO perspective, I was like, I can hear this song like in a movie, so like
Right, yeah.
Furious movie, and it's very marketable, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You say you could play it across like multiple genres.
Genres, yeah, for sure. No, that's dope, man. Thank you for playing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll start from the beginning, man. Tell the people where you're from and how old are you?
So I'm from Miami, Florida, 28. Been doing music since I was 14. So very long time. I write, sing, rap, produce all my own stuff. I'm kind of a one-man band, more so from necessity rather than like me actually initially wanting to do every single aspect myself. It was kind of one of those things where, when I got started, I was just a kid, so I didn't have, resources to buy a bunch of different kind of beats and people charging crazy prices. So I just sat down one day and I was like, you know what, let me figure out how to do this like myself so I can, keep writing and then putting beats with it, at a rate that I was coming up with songs. So that's kind of how that happened. But yeah, man, South Florida native. I lived in Georgia as well, in Atlanta for a hot minute. But 305 is home.
Absolutely. So what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Miami?
When I think of Miami, Oh, that's a good question. First thing that comes to mind, honestly, is like the city. The just the it's a certain like aura that's here that it's hard to describe unless you like felt it. Because like I said, like I've been a lot of different places, and there's no place quite like Miami, if I'm being honest. Like when you get here, you just feel that like, all right, I'm in Miami right now.
Oh,
Like from the weather, the skyline, just the people, just the stuff to do. It's just it's very fast paced, but it always feels like you have all the time in the world at the same time. It's crazy. Yeah.
absolutely. So for anybody that never been to Miami, man, just kind of describe how it was growing up as a kid slash teenager, some of the
Yeah.
obstacles and circumstances a African American kid, has to go through just growing up in Miami.
Right. So growing up here was really interesting. It's different from places, and I can speak on this a little more because I did live in Atlanta as well for part of my life, and I could see a clear difference in terms of coming up in both places. So like here, uh, there's a lot of different cultures, like in terms of people from other countries, just different backgrounds. So you're exposed to a lot of just different things, and you understand how to like communicate with certain cultures and how to respect certain cultures. So that I think as a kid being from Miami, like you understand, like okay, I'm respectful of this person's culture and the things that they have to offer. And it's not weird, like just because they're not from America, it's not weird. Like we're all like this is a giant melting pot down here. So it's just you get to interact with these different cultures, and at some point, like these other cultures that you may not be from, like it becomes a part of you because it's a part of the city. Like that's just kind of how we grow up here. And then living in Atlanta, it's a little different. It's very I'm trying to see how to say this. It's very old America. I feel like in a way of you kind of just have your this kind of people over here, this kind of people over here. Like sure, there's a mix, but it's not like how it is down here. There's certain charms about Atlanta that I did like as well. Like the Southern hospitality aspect is like everybody's kind of sweet and then very nurturing and stuff like that. So it just two different lifestyles for sure. But I can see how they would appeal to uh, a certain person or something out here that might appeal to you more. But yeah, but as for growing up here, yeah, just very very mixed cultures, getting exposed to different foods, lifestyles, party scene's great. Obviously this is for my adult life. Party scene's great. And then in Atlanta I have a deep love for because that's where I discovered my passion for music. With Atlanta being such a heavy music city, so that's where I first learned how to produce. Where I was writing my songs, rapping, and yeah, my skill set in terms of music, I really it was fostered in Atlanta, and, in that great culture of music, and Atlanta's very heavy on Black culture as well, which I loved. That was one of my favorite things about there. And yeah, it just helped with my grooming in terms of becoming who I am today as an artist, musically, the technical side of stuff. And then obviously, here it helps with me being able to make tracks like San Diego or Heaven Spice, where I can like pick these different flavors, throw them together. And although I'm rapping on the track, like it feels like, oh man, this song could be played like in Europe somewhere, So Miami and Atlanta, very special places to me. They helped me become who I am today, and I'm thankful for every experience I've had in both cities.
Absolutely. So did you have a two-parent household, any siblings?
Yeah, two parents, two siblings. Yeah, we, very close family, a lot of love. They always supported my dreams and pushed me even to this day to just keep going and keep elevating in terms of music. Like never be stagnant. Like keep pushing the boundaries and really expending all of my creative ability. Not to get too complacent and comfortable with doing a certain style of music. Like taking it there and really thinking more than just, oh, I want to be uh, just the best rapper, obviously, which I feel like I'm the best rapper, obviously. Like if you're a rapper, you should feel that way. But just to think bigger than like, okay, yeah, you can rap, but you can also sing, you can produce, you're a complete artist. So like, take it there, like try to be one of the greatest artists of all time. Like, so that's the mindset I go into when I'm making these songs, just to not get too pigeonholed in rap because I just feel like I can do a lot more than just rap. So that's why my music is, I said, very eclectic. Still same tone. If you listen to all the songs, they kind of fit together. But yeah, I just try to do different stuff with it and make it exciting for the listener. And not give them the same shit that they always get on the radio. So that's my big thing with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what type of activities you was into as a kid? Did you play any sports?
Yeah, so I played a little football. I never stuck with it though. Played some tennis. I was always very active, like in school, in terms of um, gym, and we used to have this thing like where you could come in before school started and like just be in the gym and just work out or just do activities at certain sports that we had going on, or like we had this thing called Texas Battle Ball. It's like an extreme dodgeball, but I would come in like early in the morning before class started. I think it was like 6 a.m., 5:30, something like that. But come in stupid early, and then you just be playing in there. Then you got to shower up, get ready for class, and then you go the rest of your day and do your thing. But yeah, I was always pretty like, I enjoy a lot of competitive stuff because I'm a competitive person in general. So, I always get a kick out of sports. I love anything that has to do with just competing. It's exciting for me, you know.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, as far as your close circle, family and friends, did
Yeah.
you have anybody growing up that was involved in the music business, or were you the first person to go down that route?
No, no, actually my mom, she used to rap back in the day, down here. So she was a big part in like helping me figure out my voice when it comes to doing music in general. Like I remember when I first started, like I would um I would write these raps out and I would rap them in a way because I'm a big I came up in that era where like Lil Wayne was the guy, growing up. So I was writing my raps and I would always like write them as if I were Lil Wayne, and uh she would come back, she would like, you sound like Lil Wayne, you gotta write it again, you gotta sound like you're not Lil Wayne. So I just kept writing, kept writing, kept writing. And one day I rapped her this song. It was just which ended up being the outro for my first project, Sports Cars and Broken Hearts. It's called Letting Them Know. I rapped that for her. It's 4 minutes straight of just me rapping over a beat that I produced, and she said it gave her goosebumps. So she was like, "Oh, you got it now, you got it." So she was a huge part, like I said, to me, just even learning how to rap and just find my style and my voice and being comfortable with it. So yeah, she was the first one that introduced me, well, kind of helped guide me into music and find myself with it.
Okay. So, as far as growing up, man, like, who were some of your favorite artists growing up? I know you said Lil Wayne. So,
Yeah,
who
Wayne was
like
here.
listening to?
Yeah, Wayne, Jay, Kanye. Um, love The Weeknd. I actually listened when I was really young. LL Cool J um, was a big one for me. Who else? Who else? Who else? Singers, Usher, Chris Brown. The Weeknd, this band called The Neighborhood, one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. Drake, obviously, J. Cole, Kendrick, Cuddy was a big one too for me at a point. Uh, yeah, I enjoyed rap that like um, Big Sean too. Big Sean was a good one. That was one I listened to a lot. But I just enjoyed a lot of rap that had bars, and like it was storytelling as well. So throughout those artists I mentioned, like they do that. They're really good at being able to deliver a great song while storytelling and or giving us some quality bars, because that's why we come to rap, is we want to hear bars. um so yeah, I would say those guys are some of the ones that come off the top of my head that have influenced me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
So, Brandon Red, is that your real name as far as?
that's my stage name.
So where did that come from?
So Brandon obviously is my first name. Red is a color that represents love and war. And I feel like that's something that we all deal with externally and internally. So that's why I did the two D's, just to kind of make it a little different than just Brandon Red. But yeah, I just feel like it's something we all deal with. So in my music, I talk about a lot of that. Everything I talk about is just life experiences that I've been through. So, and as you can see, like here from my catalog, like talking about love, I'm talking about, trials and tribulations I'm dealing with. So, that kind of sticks within that ideology of red, representing that. Like it could be the more lighthearted side, or it could be the like, man, I'm going through it, and I'm trying to battle my way through these things that I feel like are in my way or that I'm trying to overcome. So yeah, that's where we get Brandon Red from.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as take me back to that time, man, when you went to a record studio for the first time.
First time.
Was it kind of rough for you to catch on, or was it easy?
Nah, it was growing pains. It was growing pains for sure. So actually the first time I recorded was in one of my dad's friends' houses, because one of my dad's friends was a producer, and he had a little studio set up. So we tried recording it there. And I just kind of getting the feel for it. I'm like, okay. So when we got the final product from it, I didn't really like how it sounded. So we ended up finding a studio that was I worked with an engineer named Adam in Atlanta. Really, really incredible guy. He was a big part in me like kind of getting comfortable in the studio as well. He was a great engineer. I don't know if he's still doing it up there, but yeah, that when I started recording with him, that was when I really started like getting my feet wet and like understanding, okay, this is how I sound when I do this with my voice, or if I do it with this much intensity, it makes the verse sound this much better. Like I would say that time period of me recording was really me just figuring it out. And like, I had already kind of found my voice, but finding your voice in the studio is a lot different than like me just rapping like right now. It's like out loud, just, you can hear it, but when you hear that shit back coming through the speaker, you're like, ugh, I don't like how that sounds, So yeah, that was a big point in my life where, just finding out who I was as an artist and with the things I like to do on tracks. But I feel like every engineer that I've worked with, well, most have kind of like helped with the process of me being comfortable in the studio, because every engineer's vibes are different. Some people you just like, it's cool to record with them. They just kind of hit record and then they let it do its thing and they stop it. And it's not really that transactional in terms of them giving their feedback, and then you kind of giving your feedback on what you think they could do in terms of making the vocals sound cool, because you got to have engineers that are like open to that stuff too. So yeah, I've had some engineers that have really helped with me understanding studio vibe and what vibe I like to record in to get the best product out of myself. So yeah, yeah. My engineer now is really great, Jimmy Starr. We do a good job together. You know, he's a beast with you know, taking my vocals and you know, making me sound good. You know, I try to come in and do my best, obviously, but you know, he goes in and really makes it all come together to you know, create songs that I have out now, like San Diego. So yeah, shout out to all the engineers, man. They don't get enough love.
Absolutely. So, when would you say you had the confidence to know you really can pursue music?
I would say I got the confidence really when I was, because I started at 14, I was kind of getting my feet wet. I would say around like 16, 17, I knew I'm like, all right, I can do this for real. Because by that time I was producing all my beats, writing all my stuff, obviously, and then really getting into it. And it was coming easier to me. And obviously I still learn to this day different techniques and stuff to implement in my music. But at that point, I was like, damn, okay, I'm catching on to this stuff fairly quickly. And a lot of it was self-taught in terms of me learning how to play certain keys and chords and notes and stuff like that, and just making it mesh on a track. So I think around that age, 16, 17, I was like, all right, you know, I could make a living off of this for real. You know, I never go into things like, and this is the kind of person I am. I never go into things thinking I can't do something. So it's hard for me to say like, you know, when I first started doing it, like I didn't think, oh, maybe I could be this guy, because I did. Like I really was like, you know, I'm gonna put my mind to it and get it done. You know, that's just who I am as a person. If I put my mind to something and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be that guy, then you know, I usually do all I can to make sure that happens, you know. And here we are today, 14 years later, still rocking. So, you know, determination, man, that's just what I'm all about. Staying with it.
Absolutely, man. So, are you independent right now?
Yeah, fully independent right now.
Okay. And would you sign to a major if it made sense?
Yeah, if it made sense, for sure. I still think there's um, a need for a label, depending on, I take that back. So it depends on what route you want to go in musically. You know, like there's some people that they like the independent grind, and not to say they don't like it, but they enjoy the independent grind. They like the creative freedom, more money coming in their pocket and stuff like that. And just the independent lifestyle. You know, you have a label over you saying, "Oh, we need this by this deadline," you know, stuff like that. So, you know, if you like that, that's awesome. Independent is the way to go. For me personally, I love the independent grind. I think it builds a lot of characteristics that will be needed for when I do sign. You know, and because after you get signed, it just doesn't end. Like you just don't stop, you know, doing the things that I'm doing now. You're supposed to like multiply it by 10, you know, and take it there for real, to really have your product, your brand, you know, be on a different kind of level. Like I want to be, you know, worldwide and have my face on like everything when it comes to music. So independently, I'm sure it's possible. The legwork that it would take to do it as, you know, a small group of people doing it, you know, it's probably going to be extremely exhausting. So for me, it's like I don't mind signing with a label because I know where I'm trying to take my brand. Not just, you know, with music or, you know, with movies, stuff like that, because I'm an actor as well. So for me, it works better to be on that grand scale of, you know, that a major label could put you on. You know, because I think, you know, with my brand, I think it will be better suited for that kind of platform. And I think I would get the most benefit out of it, you know, compared to maybe somebody that's more independent and they want to just kind of stay in that lane, you know, because somebody coming in independent doing that and trying to do the major label thing, it might not work, you know, and it might tarnish their brand at the end. So yeah, I just think for me, signing with a major is something I would definitely be open to if it made sense. And yeah, when that time comes, you know, we'll sit down with the lawyers and you know, get the paperwork right and get it done.
Absolutely. So take me through your process now, man. How often you be going to the studio to record right now?
Yeah, so I actually got a studio here at my crib. I mean, you don't see it, but all this is a bunch of shit set up in front of me. But yeah, I you know, I make my music here. The microphone's right here. I go to the big studio when I'm ready to like really, you know, lay everything down, get it mixed and mastered. Because I don't mix and master, but I produce and you know, I know my way around the boards. So what I'll do is if I'm writing a song, you know, it can go both ways. I could write the song first, or I could start with the beat. These days, I'm usually starting with the beat first, and then I'll write the song that kind of fits it. I just got to get a vibe from the music, and it just kind of guides me to where I need to go with the song. So I'll start it here, you know, make it in its entirety, and then I'll record it here as well, just to get the idea of like how I want to rap certain things, sing certain things. And once I kind of have that concept together, then I'm like, all right, cool. Let's take it to the big studio. We record it, and you know, and usually it comes out money. You know, it's a lot of preparation that goes into what I do before I get to the actual, you know, big studio with an engineer. You know, I take it very seriously. So I want to make sure, you know, it's right when I go in, so that it's even more right when we all said and done with it. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So take me back to that time, man, when you dropped your first project to the public, when you first started doing music, when they heard your music for the first time, man, because you know it's different. When
Yeah.
you get snippets and stuff for family members and friends, but when you
Yeah.
have people that you don't know listening to it, you know, for the first time and giving you those good reviews, man, how was the city embracing you when you first started putting music out?
Yeah. So when I first started putting music out, I actually had but this was before all the streaming stuff. But I had a track called Wonder Girl. That was my first song I ever made. And it was a girl song, you know, very, you know, early 2000 vibe. And when I made it and I was sending it out to people, they were like, "Oh, okay, this is a dope song, you know, this is now," you know, they were fucking with it a little bit. That song still holds a special place in my heart just because, you know, that was the first one. But when I got on when Sports Cars and Broken Hearts came out, when I officially released like that project, that was my first, like, you know, that shit's everywhere. That one got received pretty well by the people. And but at that time I didn't really have you know, a huge fan base or nothing like that. Like you know, that was just me first putting something out. Like I made a whole project and I was like, all right, cool, 10-song project here, y'all take a listen, you know. But yeah, people liked it a lot. One of the ones that really stuck out to people was called Regrets on Sports Cars and Broken Hearts. That was a pretty popular one that people enjoyed. So yeah, I think when that project dropped, it was like, okay, cool, you do music, you're actually rapping, like you're not, you know, doing no bubblegum shit. So I think that kind of introduce people to who I was as an artist. And then over the years, you know, I just kind of built upon that, and you know, here we are today. I'm able to do, you know, different stuff with my music, and it's not like jarring to people, you know, because they kind of over the years they expect like, oh, okay, Brandon be doing that different shit, you know. So yeah, I think people were fucking with it initially, but I think now for sure, people really they really be vibing with it. So I'm just thankful for all the love and support that I get from anybody that listens, shares, or you know, just has my stuff on their playlist and rocking with it throughout the day.
Absolutely, man. Have you done any shows yet?
Yeah. I actually got a show coming up April 19th, and I gotta look at the address again. It's in Miami, somewhere. It's a new place that I never performed there before. But that'll be coming up. I'll be posting more about that on my story, like when I get the flyers and stuff for it. But April 19th, I'm gonna try to have some more set up. That's what we're in the process of right now. Me and my team is like just trying to get more shows lined up because we got a lot of new music coming out this year. Um, so yeah, April 19th will be for sure the next one because it's locked in already, and I'll be doing my thing. So that should be a lot of fun. That should be a lot of fun. I'm gonna be performing Heaven Spice there for the first time. So that'll be pretty sick.
Yeah, I can feel that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you've been staying in Miami
Yeah.
and staying in Atlanta too.
Mhm.
Just describe both the music scenes in both cities and describe, the local artists, as far as in both cities, do they collab or do everybody mind their business? How does it go?
Yeah. So I'll just start with Atlanta because that's where I first started doing music. Music scene is really strong in Atlanta, like super strong. Like so I think the thing with Atlanta, if you know the right people that can like get the right ears on your stuff, you'll be all right. People are really big on collaborating in Atlanta. Like if they fucking with your stuff, they'll be like, all right, come to the studio, vibe out with you. It's been a while since I've been up there, so I can't speak on it right now. But that's just at least for when I was up there, like it, everybody was just Atlanta was popping, like the music scene was jumping. Future was doing his thing, still is, but that initial introduction of him to the A was crazy. When Doug was there first coming out, it's crazy. Yeah, it was a dope scene. But like I said, if you have to definitely know the right people to be able to get ears on your stuff up there. And as far as down here, it's a little different because I don't think people look at Miami as like a mecca of music right now. Like when you think of Atlanta, you think, oh, okay, yeah, you got Migos, Future, baby, little baby, all them dudes. So when you think about down here, you got a few, you got City Girls, Rick Ross, Trick comes to mind, Kodak, of course. It's just certain people that you think of. It's not like a widespread, like you could have a whole giant list of artists, that immediately come to mind. But yeah, I think down here it's more so you really, really, really got to know the right people down here to even crack in somehow. It is a very cool music scene in terms of like, and like I said, that what I'm talking about right now is like on a major scale, like cracking into that and being like known across the country or whatever. But in terms of the actual music scene itself, like I think it's pretty cool because we have a lot of dope artists down here that are doing their thing and they have great music. Like I wish that more eyes were on Miami in terms of finding artists and like getting them and really developing and bringing them up because we got some talented people down here, like singers, rappers, producers, all that. And I feel like Miami artists don't get enough shine. At least the ones that are on the come up. I don't feel like they get as much shine as like artists on the come up in Atlanta. Like if somebody started bubbling there, like it just everybody just reaches down, picks them up, boom, boom, boom. He the next up. I feel like here it's very like you gotta grind for everything you want. Like down here, like you gotta really, really grind and just it's like a mix of grinding hard and then luck to really make it out of here as an artist in terms of just making it in the city without having to like go somewhere else and then make it and come back. But yeah, I would say those are like the key differences between both music scenes. But both have been very instrumental in like, helping me get like tough skin with it because you hear a lot of no's before you hear any yeses. But but yeah, thankful for both scenes. They've contributed a lot to my growth. So that's just the business. It is what it is, but it's up to us as artists to overcome that and show people like why we're supposed to be where we think we're supposed to be. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you got any artists on your hit list that you want to work with that you ain't work with yet?
Oh, like my dream collabs right now?
Or just collabs in general? It don't have to be big
Oh,
artists.
there you go. Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, when you said it, the first thing that came to mind is The Weeknd. I really enjoy his music. So I think we could make a fire song, like just his vocals, probably on the hook, and then me lacing the verses, and then I would want to make the beat as well because I feel like I just knowing his style, knowing my style, I feel like I can make it mesh real well. But yeah, I would probably say The Weeknd off the top of the head, and then I would want to do a song with actually a few. So I would want to do something that was like more Miami, geared towards Miami, right? So I don't know, do something like how Khaled used to do back in the day, where he would get all the artists together and put them on one track. I think that would be dope as hell. We did something like that down here again. Just get that feeling back. Just like, yo, this is Miami, something like that would be cool. But yeah, off the top of my head, those are two. I got obviously a long list of people I want to do a song with, but yeah, Weeknd off the top of the dome right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for all your fans and followers out there, man, what's some things you like doing in your spare time when you're not doing music?
I do music. So most people, well, people that know me, they know. So I love like comic book stuff, like comic book movies, superhero stuff. So I'm really into like the Marvel, DC. So usually you'll probably catch me, catching up on shows or watching those movies, reading those comics, Star Wars. Like I'm a super like nerd when it comes to stuff like that. That's some of my favorite shit to do. Also, I enjoy a good party. I will say I like to go out and have fun. It works that I'm in Miami. It's a lot of stuff to do. So yeah, I'm a social person. Enjoy going out to different restaurants, different clubs, lounges, just checking out vibes. Yeah, but yeah, most of the time, my free time, I'm chilling. Like I said, either making music or, catching up on my superhero stuff and just being a nerd. And I'm a gamer too. I play online a lot. I do the Fortnite, Warzone, Overwatch. What else? I just got into GTA. I know I'm late as hell, but got into GTA Online. Yeah, but yeah, love gaming as well, man. Like for the most part, I guess I'm probably at home, doing music, gaming, watching shows, or just working on personal stuff. I need to get back into going heavy because I love working out, but I haven't been on it as much as I should be.
Absolutely. So what are your short and long-term goals? What do you want to accomplish?
Short term, I would say line up the shows that I got to do, that I would like to do, and leading up to like summertime. Because I guess it's a long-term goal. We could do it. It's kind of short but long. But I would love to perform at Rolling Loud, Miami. So I kind of want to line up these performances and get my name really popping. So it's like in people's memory. As they see the flyers and stuff like that, and like, oh shit, okay, maybe I get invited to perform at Rolling Loud. So that would be dope to perform at Rolling Loud. And another one is short term is just get out this music that I got. I got some fire tracks that just sitting on this hard drive right here that I'm waiting to put out. But Heaven Spikes was the first of those, the lead off the year, and it's doing pretty good. Great response from people that have listened to it. And I would say short term is get out the music, set up some shows. Long term, perform at Rolling Loud in the summer. And even longer term than that, just really get the eye of you know people that want to be a part of this journey that I have going, because I do believe I'm going to be one of the biggest artists in the industry one day. So, but and that happens with a village of people, helping that out. It's
Right.
there's only so much I can do as a single artist. So, just meeting the right people that can help me get to that point. On top of the things I'm already doing right now. So that would be the long-term goal, is just achieving that feat of being considered one of the greats in the industry, one of the go-to guys to get your music from, somebody to write your song for you, or whatever. Just want to be one of those household names.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
besides dropping, doing more shows this year,
Mhm.
and what else do you got coming for 2023?
So I'm actually I'm a part of this short film that we're shooting this month. We've been doing table reads and walkthroughs and everything, getting the shot list together. Uh, and Yeah, I'm super excited for that. It's gonna be a cool, it's like a vampire short film. So yeah, super excited. My character is Patrick in the script, and we shoot towards the end of this month. So yeah, that's coming up. I'm really excited for that, and I think the premiere for it is going to be sometime in June. So yeah, that'll be something that I'll be posting about on my pages as well, to kind of promote. But yeah, not just the music thing, but I'm also going to be in that, and preferably other short films as well, or projects this year I'll be a part of. We got the crew that I'm working with. They're really awesome. Close friend of mine, Marvin's, he invited me to read the script, and take on the role, and I just want to do a really good job for him, and preferably we can keep working together and making some good stuff, because it's gonna be a fun one.
Absolutely, man. That's dope. So as
Yeah.
far as I like asking people this question. It's a legacy question. So how do you want people to perceive you?
I would like to be perceived as an artist that connects with people, in terms of, when you listen to my stuff, I want you to be able to put yourself in a space where you're like, yo, I can really connect with this. I've gone through this similar thing. I want to be perceived more so as somebody comes to listen to my stuff because they know they can relate to it. It's not just fucking bitches getting money,
Mhm.
because you can't always relate to that, because you're not always doing those two things. So, I just, the everyday, like I said, even with San Diego, I'm rapping about stuff that I actually been through, hopping off the plane on the flight there, meeting up with a beautiful girl, we having a good time, stuff like that. That's stuff that people can really connect with and understand. Yo, I actually did some shit like that. It might not have been San Diego, but maybe it was, we went to Denver or something or whatever. I don't know, but I would want to be perceived as an artist that you can relate to, you can count on for good music, and just somebody that is genuine in terms of what I put out, being on brand and not steering too far out of what I am and who I am. Just somebody that's authentic. You can have a good time listening, whether you're partying, in your feelings or whatever. You can count on me for some solid tracks that can kind of be the soundtrack to your life, And yeah, I just want to be remembered as one of the greats, perceived as that, and yeah, and do my job and giving back to the next generation of artists that will come up. Because I know one day I'll my time will be up. So it's I feel like it's a responsibility to the artists that are big now to kind of reach back and pull up the next generation, because you won't be able to do it forever. So you got to pass on, you got to pass the torch. So I think, yeah, just somebody that has respect for the game, understands it, gives great music that you can relate to, and you know, just kind of fostering that culture of let's pull the next man up. Like he's ready to do his thing, or she is ready to do her thing, you know, and just I guess a community guy, the people's champ, I guess, is what I want to be known as. You know, somebody that you can really look up to. You know, not saying I'm perfect or anything like that, but you know, I'm just a man doing the best he can, and I want to, you know, put out the best product I can to everybody.
Absolutely, I can feel that. So give me your Mount Rushmore, man. Give me your top 5 most
Okay.
influential artists.
Most influential artist. Sorry, I thought you were about to say best rapper. I was like, damn, I hate when I get asked this question. All right, so we doing most influential artists off rip. Michael Jackson, got to do Michael Jackson because that's, you know, that's Mike. Michael Jackson.
Well, we're saying to you, not just like a generic.
Oh, generic. Okay, so you are asking then, like top 4 then technically.
Wow. Well, I do Mount Rushmore's as
Mount
far.
Rushmore, okay. All right, so yeah, we do it influential to me. I'm gonna say Kanye, Lil Wayne. I'm going with my roots. I'm gonna say Chris Brown. That last one, that's always the one.
We got 2 more.
2 more? I thought Rushmore was 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 4, but I'll do 5.
Oh, you do 5? Okay. All right, so then if we doing that, so what I said, Kanye, Wayne,
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. I'm gonna put obviously Jay. Last one. I'll put Drake in there.
Okay.
Drake in
That's a solid 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That was tough. that was tough.
Yeah, somebody will always get left out, man.
I know, because I'm like, damn, what about that person? Because, man, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that one. That one's a solid one. They kind of cover all bases. Yeah. I'll rock that one. That's a solid 5. You know, it's a solid 5. We'll go with that one.
Absolutely. So closing remarks, man. Anything else you want to let the people know that you got going on, and let people know how they can keep up with you on social media and things like that?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a big year. You know, last year we had a nice run with the music. So this year we want to just build on top of that, right? So releasing more music, obviously, more music videos. I'm gonna be in acting projects as well. And then hopefully, you know, more podcasts like this, interviews, publications, things like that. Just getting my face out more. So people will be seeing a lot more of me. I'm very, very active on social media now. Yeah, for all updates on things I'm doing, projects I'm working on, you can follow me on all social media at Brandon Red 305. And that's Red with 2 Ds, BRANDON REDD 305. Like I said, you can find me on all social media at that. I actually have a website as well, BrandonRed305.com. So yeah, any updates will be on those platforms about me. And yeah, just, you know, like I said, we're just working this year, just getting out the music. The next single I have coming out is going to be a really, really good one. Heaven Spice was, you know, the one that's out now that's really doing well. Y'all should go check that out on all streaming platforms. But the next one I got it's going to be a hot one. It's going to be a hot one. Title of it is ABC. So, you know, I haven't said anything about that to anybody. So this is here first. Next one's going to be ABC. I think y'all going to enjoy it a lot. But yeah, more music, more shows, just more me out in the public, being social, really showing my face. And yeah, I'm really down to earth. So any messages that I get, I typically respond. I try my best to like respond to everybody that comments or tries to DMs. Obviously it's a lot, so sometimes I miss some, but yeah, I'm super open. If y'all want to reach out to me, let me know what you think about the songs or want to work. Just hit me up, and we'll work it out. But like I said, Brandon Red 305, Red with 2 Ds. Check me out and everything.
Absolutely, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on the podcast. And anytime you want to come on, you can come on anytime. I
Oh,
don't
for
just
sure,
do
man. I appreciate that.
interviews. I don't do it just do interviews. I talk about real topics too, as far as like police brutality, relationships, child support,
Right.
your kid out of 18 years old, stuff that I know people
Yeah,
come across at some point in their life,
right. Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate you having me on. Seriously, that was you know, anytime somebody reaches out to me and then wants to, do podcasts or work, like I appreciate it. That's a big like compliment to I guess to actually want to, have this sit down and have this conversation with me. Like much appreciated, much appreciated. It doesn't go without me being honored and grateful to be on this show because you have a dope platform. You have some dope guests that come on, and I'm just honored to be one of the ones now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I appreciate all my supporters. So we almost at 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. I appreciate
Yeah,
everybody supporting the podcast. Top 30% on Spotify.
yeah,
Be on the lookout for big interviews dropping soon. Got PBE Pluto, he the biggest artist on Mobile. Got
okay,
NPR Richie interview dropping soon. We got
yeah.
Trill.
Saw that one. Yeah. Okay.
Got
Hey,
Trill
man,
C,
big ones.
Trill C dropping in May with that's NBA Young Boys and Quando Rondo's producer. He's one of their producers.
Yeah,
We got Young and MH. He's one of the biggest artists coming out of New York right now.
yeah.
And trying to think of the other one. Freeway Ricky Ross. That's coming soon too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got some nice ones lined up, man. Nice ones lined up. And your boy Brandon Red.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But man, like I said, I appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. I love what you're doing with your podcast. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing, man. For real.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you have a good night, bro.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right.
Peace out, y'all.